Hey everyone, Chrono Pinoy X here once again, back with another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Today, I thought now would be a great time to share my personal opinion with regards to the addition of Furious Rajang in the Iceborne Expansion. The idea behind this video is to just share with you my personal experience when it comes to fighting the Furious Rajang when it comes to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Talk about what works quite well when it comes to this monster in terms of the hunt, what doesn't work quite as well, and what can be improved upon when it comes to the overall experience of fighting the Furious Rajang when it comes to the Iceborne Expansion. I'll also be doing a video for Raging Brachydios next week in order to share with you my personal experiences when fighting that particular monster, but for the time being, I want to go ahead and focus on Furious Rajang in this video when it comes to its addition in the Iceborne Expansion. Now if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel so you can go ahead and catch up on any other content that I might be doing in future. Now let's take a look at my personal opinion and experiences when it comes to fighting the Furious Rajang within the Iceborne Expansion. Now before we get started on my personal experience regarding fighting Furious Rajang in the Iceborne Expansion, I have to talk about the visuals on this monster because Capcom did a top-notch job when it comes to Furious Rajang in the Iceborne Expansion in terms of visuals. One of the best things about Furious Rajang is when you get that crackling lightning across its body when it goes into its rage mode, and that is super awesome in Iceborne. In previous generation games, they tried to capture it as a sort of Super Saiyan 2 like effect from the Dragon Ball series, however they couldn't quite get it due to the graphical limitations of the previous generation games. However, in Iceborne, they finally managed to execute it and it looks perfect in my personal opinion. I genuinely enjoyed the graphical enhancements of Furious Rajang in the Iceborne Expansion due to that crackling lightning across its body with that Super Saiyan 2 like state on it. Alongside this, I also enjoyed the animation of this monster more so than in standard Rajang. I think the best animation in the game so far has to be none other than the grapple attack that Furious Rajang has when it comes to the rampage state. I think that grapple attack is super awesome because it focuses solely on the animation prowess of this monster. Capcom did everything they can in order to make this particular attack flow fluidly when it comes to this particular animation. So overall, I had to mention the graphical enhancements and the animation of this monster just because of the fact that it is part of the experience when it comes to fighting the Furious Rajang in the Iceborne Expansion. Now with the visuals out of the way, let's talk about my actual experience fighting this monster in Iceborne. Now, my overall fight when it comes to Furious Rajang has to be one of patience, and this is due to the fact that this is a monster that really tends to overcommit itself into dealing damage to you physically. However, at the same time, you will see a lot of its attack patterns actually create an opening for you in order for you to deal as much damage as possible to it until it starts overcommitting itself once again into bombarding you with attacks. The idea on Furious Rajang and the standard Rajang is that they are very aggressive monsters, but you need to be able to tell which attack pattern will leave an opening for you to basically deal as much damage as possible against the monster. So that's kind of the idea behind Furious Rajang when it comes to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. It's all about being patient. Some players out there are able to take advantage of the fact that certain attack patterns can be countered very easily when it comes to Furious Rajang. In fact, I've seen a number of speedrunners out there who actually countered the lightning breath attack by using the longsword and doing a foresight slash into the actual lightning breath attack, which is super awesome because it takes advantage of the fact that Furious Rajang at that point is pretty much defenseless and you can pretty much attack it at that point without any real issues. So overall, it's all about being patient when it comes to this monster and knowing which attack patterns to take advantage of because they leave the Furious Rajang open afterwards when this monster executes that particular attack. Don't overcommit yourself too much into dealing damage, however, because if you overcommit yourself, what's gonna happen here is that Furious Rajang will punish you for overcommitting when it comes to dealing damage to it. So the idea here is be patient, but know when to stop dealing damage to it, otherwise it will punish you instead. So that's kind of my personal experience when it comes to this monster so far in the Iceborne Expansion. Now, if there's one negative when it comes to Furious Rajang that I have in terms of actually fighting it, it has to be the wall mechanic that it shares with its standard version. What I mean by the wall mechanic is that if you knock down the Furious Rajang close to a wall, it actually staggers towards the wall, it rests onto it for a couple of seconds, and then does a counter attack against you. Now, to me, I don't like this mechanic in any way, shape, or form. And the main reason for this is because of the fact that the game is actually punishing you for performing well against a monster just because you were too close to a wall. Now that to me is a little bit mundane when the idea behind Furious Rajang is that you punish it by being patient against this monster. Why are you now being punished for performing well against the monster to begin with? The idea behind most monsters is that if you knock them down, you now have the opening because you did extremely well against these monsters. But with Furious Rajang and the standard Rajang for that matter, that's not the case scenario anymore if you knock them down close to a wall. Now, a lot of people might say that it's better to just move away from the wall, but now you have the other issue where you can't wall bang the Furious Rajang if it's not enraged. So you see what I'm getting at here? This whole wall mechanic that it has when it comes to Iceborne really throws you off guard because you're looking to get an opening, but at the same time that opening completely goes away just because of the fact that you're too close to a wall when it comes to fighting the Furious Rajang. I was really hoping I wasn't going to see this again, but at the same time I was being a little bit too hopeful. I knew it was going to come back, but again I was a little bit hopeful that it wouldn't when it comes to Furious Rajang in the Iceborne expansion. Now overall, in terms of my experience in regards to Furious Rajang in the Iceborne expansion, it's been mostly positive. Again, the only real aspect that I don't like about Furious Rajang, as well as the standard Rajang at that, is the wall mechanic where it rests onto a wall and then counters you. This is the only aspect of this particular monster that I dislike that I think should not be added in future Monster Hunter games if we still have the Clutch Claw at that point and the flinch shot attack. But overall, I think my positive experience with this monster outweighed that one negative for the most part, because this monster is visually stunning. I love the animations on it. It's definitely a challenging monster and you have to be patient with it, and overall it's very rewarding to fight a monster that really punishes you unless you study the way it moves and when you have openings in order to punish the monster instead. Overall, Furious Rajang is an amazing addition to the Iceborne expansion, and I can't wait to see what they do with it when it comes to future Monster Hunter games as well. And that is pretty much it for this video, talking about my personal experience and opinion in regards to the addition of Furious Rajang in the Iceborne expansion. What do you think of the Furious Rajang when it comes to Iceborne? Is it an amazing addition? Do you enjoy the fights? Is there something that Capcom can improve upon when it comes to fighting this monster, or do you dislike it in some way, shape, or form? Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Furious Rajang when it comes to the Iceborne expansion. Now that is pretty much it for me for this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel, as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.